Proverbs 23:24 says, the father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him. The second thing I see this, not only did Moses' roots run or come from a righteous father, he was of a regal lineage, that of the tribe of Levi. He was of a lineage that would go on to become the high priesthood. He was coming out of what would be a godly heritage, or the beginning of a godly heritage, if I could put it that way. In Exodus chapter 15 and verse 2, this is after they've crossed the Red Sea, and we'll get there. This is the Song of Moses. Bible says there in Exodus 15:2, the Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him a habitation. And then it says, the comma there, and it says, my father's God. Amen. He's not talking about God the Father. He said, the God that I serve, he was my father's God. I want you to know I can stand here today, and I'm proud to say that my father's God is my God. Amen. And I hope one day my sons will stand up and say, I'm proud to say that my father's God is my God. Yep. Yep. Praise the Lord. Moses' roots came from a righteous father, but his roots also came from a regal lineage. I'll give you the third thing that I see very quickly. Look in verse 1. There went a man of the house of Levi, I like this, and took to wife a daughter of Levi. I've said this over and over and over again. When I was a youth pastor, I'd tell kids all the time, they'd come to me and go, oh, he's so cute. She's so cute. I love her. And I always ask, I said, where'd you meet her? Yeah. Well, I met her at school. I go, you're great, young, independent, fundamental, Bible-believing, King James Baptist young person. Where do they go to church? Are they saved? Well, they go down here to the Catholic Church. I go, no. Yeah, come on. Or it wouldn't even be the Catholic Church. They go down here to Word of Life on the Rock. I go, no. It's all, but you don't understand. Well, Mark, they're a Christian. I said, no, it ain't going to work. Yeah, yeah. Let me just tell you something, young people, old people, whatever it is. When you get ready to marry somebody, you need to marry them. If you're an independent Baptist, you need to go looking in the tribe of independent Baptists. Amen. Don't go looking in another tribe. You're going to have trouble. Oh, the Bible tells us not to be unequally yoked. We ought not have fellowship with unbelievers. Amen. I'm going to tell you something. If Charlotte wasn't a Cowboy fan, I wouldn't marry her. Dated a girl one time. She said, I'm a Redskin fan. I said, we're done. It ain't going to work. See, you're being silly in some respects, but I'm also trying to be honest and upfront with you. Come on. Let's just, it ain't going to work. I mean, I know there's some things we can get past. Folks, if you're an independent, fundamental, Bible-believing Baptist, you need to marry Baptists. Now, I say Baptist, and I know some people listen and say, what about being a Christian? Yeah, you got to be a Christian too. You need to be a Christian first. But I'm going to tell you something. I believe there are some people saved, but the doctrine's wrong. Amen. But that doctrine will get in the way of your relationship. Yeah. I like this, though. Amram went and found a wife in the the same tribe. I just thought it was unique. He took a responsible, godly wife. The Bible says Jochebed was her name. Now, how do we know she was a responsible, godly wife? We know that by her reaction. Oh, she's going to throw Moses in the river, all right, but not the same way. You ever wonder how they got away with that? Well, it was normal to go down to the river right now and throw babies in the river. What a horrific scene that must have been. I mean, you're talking an entire nation. Almost daily, somebody would go down to the river and take a newborn baby and just throw it in the river. The crocodiles would come up and feast. Don't you know you throw food in the river at certain times every day, animals are going to come around. Yep. Did you ever stop and think about that? I know I'm getting ahead of myself here. Come on. Anybody ever had a farm pond with catfish? You go out there and throw that corn or that dog food in the pond, all the fish, they come up. Don't you know they're throwing babies in the river every day? You say, Brother Mark, you're being gross. I'm just telling you, that's what the Bible says. Threw them in the river. And Jochebed, she takes old Moses and puts him in a basket. You know, not one crocodile touched that basket. Oh, we'll get into God's grace and provision when it comes to this. Listen, matter of fact, let's just move on. Let's get there. There went a righteous man. His roots were came from a righteous father. His roots came from a regal lineage. His roots came from a responsible, godly wife and the actions that she took. How do we know that? The Bible says, and the woman conceived, in verse 2, and bare a son. And when she saw him, that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. How do you hide a baby? They cry. They get colicky. 3 months she hid him until she felt like she couldn't hide him anymore. I like this. Verse 2, it says, the woman conceived and bare a son. Now, in this day and time, the Bible says that it probably wouldn't be smart to be having children because you could risk losing one. I like this. They raised a godly family. The Bible says that the child was goodly. What does goodly mean? I tried to study that word goodly as best as I could study goodly out. Goodly means it was cute. He was a cute baby. There was something about him that he was just adorable. I was going to bring you one of my baby pictures to compare that to, and maybe you would get an idea. The Bible says he was goodly. He was cute. Many people will show me newborn pictures, and I just go, ooh. Yeah. The flash, look, it's 2 days old. It looks like a lizard. That's what it looks like. It's like a turtle. They all look the same. And they always say, oh, he's got his mother's eyes. Oh, I don't see it, but they all look shrivelly. And you say you're being silly. I'm just telling you, the baby was born, and the Bible says he looked goodly. There was something different about him. He was cute and cuddly. And that's very important because Pharaoh's daughter knew that babies were being thrown in the river. And there is something about this baby, if God was going to use this child, and if it was going to fit into God's plan, God gave it such a goodly appearance that who could say no to that face? You say, Brother Mark, you're just being, I was just there. raised a godly family. I read a commentator today that said that word goodly, and I like this. I should have written it down a little bit more word for word, but the word goodly there has to do with, in the eyes of God, you're worth something. Every baby that's born is worth something in the eyes of God. And God's hand was certainly on this Moses. Oh, the roots of Moses run deep. His roots came from a righteous father, a regal lineage, a responsible, godly mother. And he was raised in the midst of a godly family, at least for 3 months. Actually, longer than that. We'll get to that. Because after she's drawn out of the water by Pharaoh's daughter, we'll see that later, Miriam, his sister, goes, hey, I know just the perfect mom to nurse that child. Takes it back to his mother, and Moses, till he's of age, is raised by his own mother. Boy, that's the grace of God. I need to hurry. Let me give you the last one. Moses was raised in the family, in verse 2, who refused to follow ungodliness. The Bible says in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 23, by faith Moses, when he was born. Now this verse is often confused. We say, well, by faith Moses. This is all about the faith of Moses. No, you need to read that verse. It's Moses became who he was because of the faith of his parents. Read it. Let me read it to you. By faith Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents. He's hid by his parents by faith. Because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. And I'm going to close with this. I'm about ready to lose all my voice. The roots of Moses. Moses, his roots